Well, the end of April is going to be a very exciting time throughout southern Manitoba. That's because the African Children's Choir is hitting up a bunch of cities in southern Manitoba for a great tour. Tina Sipp is the choir manager with the African Children's Choir. And 5 dates, you're telling me, Tina, off air, that this is the first time since pre COVID that you're coming through Manitoba.
Yes, and we're so delighted to be back in Canada. We have started just a couple of weeks ago in British Columbia, and we're working our way east. And as you said, we'll be in your region the end of April, and we're very excited about that.
Tell us a little bit about the choir. How many kids are in the choir, and how do they get in the choir?
The choir that we have on the road currently is 18 children. We have 10 little girls and 8 little boys. They are ages 9 to 11. And like I said, they just started a couple weeks ago. They landed in Vancouver. And the children in the choirs are selected on the basis of need. They are from impoverished backgrounds, which means oftentimes a single mommy or just uneducated parents that are working very menial jobs and really just trying to get food on the table each day. And so money for even a government education is just not there because you have to pay for a uniform, pencils, papers, and that's just out of the means, out of the realm of possibility for many of these families. And so we want to stand in the gap. These children are bright and creative and intelligent and multi-talented, and also just a great joy to be with, as people will see in just a few minutes on the stage. And so they just lack opportunity, right? And so we are here as an organization to raise money to fund educational programs. And it's not just for the children that you'll see on stage. It's actually for hundreds of other children in all of our educational programs that we support through the work of the choir. So we're hoping to fill every seat and invite people to join us in giving these children of great potential the possibility for a great future.
Tell us quickly all the cities that you're going to be hitting up here in Manitoba.
Yes, we'll be in Morris on Wednesday, April 23rd. We'll move over to Winkler on Friday, the 25th of April. Sunday morning, the 27th, we'll be in Altona. And that evening, again, Sunday, April 27th, we'll be in Portage La Prairie. And Tuesday evening, April 29th, we'll be in Winnipeg.
We'll put a story up on our website. We'll include all the dates, where you'll be, when. What's it like for you, Tina, watching these kids get up on stage and maybe they've been through a lot in life, or like you said, they haven't had a lot of opportunities, and now here they are halfway around the world singing and performing. What's that like for you?
That's such a great question. I think for me, it's a reminder that of two things. One, that they have so much potential. And just because someone is poor or from an impoverished background, perhaps we limit their potential. And I think our organization's done a great job of really camping on the beauty, the dignity, and the potential of the African child and not their background, which I think is very important. I think some images that we portray or that I saw growing up were not of the beauty and dignity and potential of the child. So it's a reminder that we're doing a work that's very profound. And I don't use that word very often anymore because I think there are very few things that are profound. But when you're changing the trajectory of real lives over and over, that's profound. And I think also just having a chance to see the children blossom. They come from a very small radius of experience, and on tour, they really they're given the opportunity to have vision. And I think it's every time I see them on stage, it's just this reminder that these children are on a course to not only affect their own lives and their families' lives, but Lord willing, communities. That they will.
Yeah.
They've been given much and to give back. It's not just for them, it's to cause a ripple effect. And I think it's always a reminder of that when I see them on stage.
I like that. You said like a chance for them to get a vision. Like maybe they're from a little village or a slum in East Africa, right? But yeah, then they get this opportunity to travel, to perform, to learn and grow, and they see they've got great
Mm-hmm.
potential. And like you said, they have an
Absolutely.
opportunity to give back and help others too.
Absolutely.
Um, Speaking of coming from East Africa, now you started in Vancouver, so have the kids gotten to see any snow yet or no snow out there?
They did get to see snow,
Oh,
and
good.
they were elated. That's the one thing that every African child hopes and prays for. And yeah, and the last several choirs that I've worked with over the last 10, 15 years, they've all gotten to see snow. In the darndest places, you'd think that they'd see it up north and then they see it in Texas or New Mexico, so you just never know when
That's
it's going to come. And it's a great, great surprise for them. They love it.
yeah, they love it because they only see it for a day or two and not months on end. Hey, so
Right, right.
now, yeah, like you mentioned, this is a fundraiser for Music for Life in your programs. What I love about this is when I think of helping kids get an education, I don't know, I often just assume, oh yeah, we'll help them through elementary school. Maybe we can help them get a high school diploma. Goes further than that with Music for Life, doesn't it?
Yes, the children that are in the choir, excuse me, are guaranteed an education through the post-secondary level. So if they want to do trade school, vocational program, college or university, whatever they qualify for and have an interest in doing, we will finance them through that level. So it doesn't just stop at secondary. And along the way, like I said, they're helping hundreds of other children. So the children on the stage are not the only ones being helped. They're just simply ambassadors for friends like them just back home. And so even that ripple effect is important to point out. I think it's not just those children on the stage that get helped. It's many of their friends back home.
Tell us a little bit about the concerts. What does it look like? Like, do they just get up and they sing for 90 minutes or 2 hours, or are there stories and things like that?
Yeah, this program is called Just As I Am. And what we did is we took familiar favorite hymns and we had an African artist do the arrangements for us. So it's hymns with a twist, an African twist. And so you'll recognize them, but it has a beautiful African rhythm to them. And there's obviously traditional African praise music. There is an incredible drum piece where they're all drumming at the same time. We always include an African dance, and of course the costumes, right? So the concert is just very vibrant, both in color and energy, inspiration. The children do the program we actually have is called Just As I Am, and it's a favorite familiar hymns program. And we've taken hymns that you'll recognize, but put them to African rhythms. And we had a wonderful Ugandan artist do the arrangements for us. And so you'll recognize them, but there's a sweet African twist to familiar hymns that you might all know. And then in addition, of course, African praise music sung in different African languages. Of course, the African drumming. Who doesn't like African drumming and rhythms? And then we always have a traditional African dance and a costume to match it. So there's actually 3 different costumes, lots of color, lots of vibrancy, lots of shining. But I think what I notice, I've been with the choir now 22 years. I think what people really walk away with, as good as the program is the spirit of the children. There's something about the hope and the joy that comes without a word, just their expressions,
Mm.
just their energy. And I call it the exchange of wealth. We have some material things that we can offer them to give them an education, and then they give back to us this wealth of soul, and it comes through their little faces and their dancing and the energy and the smiles. And I think that's what people remember. I remember my first concert was in the early 90s sometime. The only thing I remember after that was how I felt. And the children just have a way of uh, worming into your soul. You just want to, everybody wants to take them home, right? They're just so endearing, and they have such a great message for the West, that there's hope. There's hope in spite of circumstances. Always hope, always joy there.
Life, love that. That's a powerful message. I think a lot of people could benefit from right now. I can just looking at the website and the pictures of the kids, right? Like you can sense that joy that they have just through those pictures. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like when I see him up on stage here at the end of April. How do we get tickets? That may be the most important question. Hey,
Yeah, actually, there's no tickets. You just want to get there
okay,
early. It's a love offering basis only, and so we do ask people to come prepared to give what they can. If we all do a little, we can all do a lot, and to just invest with us. I don't know if this is in the materials, but this is our 40th anniversary, and
wow,
so can you imagine over 40 years the number of people that have made this happen? Host
yeah,
families, churches, sponsors, people buying product. Everybody has done something. And that's what's allowed us to help educate over 59,000 children now in our history. And
wow.
that is credit and kudos to everyone that has joined us in investing in the lives of these children.
Well, we can help with the next 40 years and the next
Mm.
59,000. We'll have all the info for the Manitoba tour dates up at chvnradio.com. If you want to find out more info too, you can go to their website, africanchildrenschoir.com. Tina, anything I missed that you want to make sure people know about, or did we get it all?
Another thing I'd like to just mention is that we have a team of chaperones that travel with the children as their family on the road. 4 of them are Ugandans, and they were all members of the choir when they were children. They've now received their college degrees and have come back to mentor this next generation. And so during the concert, you have a chance to see what your previous investment has done. You get to hear from former members what God has done in their lives, why they're helping now, and you get to hear their stories, right? So it's a full circle on the stage. It's a
Love
full
that.
circle. So I just think that's a really beautiful component. I think that is a beautiful component of our work. Over 40 years, that original choir, is in their 50s, right? And so we have children and grandchildren, and we have people in every walk of life, every career that you can imagine, and there's a lot to celebrate over 40 years.
I love it.